We are now.
Cool. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Manchester by Night, a Victorian era set game, where our coterie is currently investigating some strange going-ons and experimentation with blood. Last session, they headed down to the warehouse district to investigate something. They were not given specifics, and when they
Yeah.
arrived, they found a man dead, just ripped to pieces, almost. Throat and wrist bitten up and dead, drained by the side of one of the warehouses. From there, a child was spotted, and they followed said child down into tunnels that are meant for moving cargo that sit under this part of the city. And as they followed it down, they came to a break room where they encountered, once again, a child covered in blood that they learned was called Sarah, and once again met the last child vampire that they saw, whose name was Amelia. They had a conversation for a little bit with Wolf and the others, mostly Wolf, as he was trying to convince them to come closer.
Conversation slash murder attempt.
Yes,
The equivalent to the boogeyman.
but wary from the last time you met, Amelia did not let Sarah get close to you. Um, Sorry, 1 second.
One.
Shush.
I already said one before, but I was muted, so I had to do it again.
The children ran off, and as you were turning to leave this underground tunnel system, both Haz and Wolf saw a shadow slink into the wall. And that's where we left off last time. You in the tunnels, contemplating what you just saw. So yeah, we re-enter the scene. You just saw the shadow slink into the wall.
I think we've actually left because we had a
Oh,
conversation about the shadows and the ghost.
you did, yes. You had left the warehouse. You mentioned you had someone that you wanted to track down.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea where to find this person?
I imagine, just due to happenstance, that the best way to track lightning is to find a spot it'll strike twice, and therefore he'll probably head back to where he first met them.
To the graveyard?
Mm-hmm. Plus, we're better to find something dead.
That's fair. Are you all going with him? As he heads off?
Don't see Ranna.
Yeah. It's not like he's stopping us.
It's not like he
No.
told us to not go.
He's just like, well, we've got nothing better to do. It's like, oh, we've got nothing better to do.
If we're going in mass, we might as well go to the Baron first about it. If all of us are seen there, then he might get upset.
Fair point.
So you're going to the Baron's place first. As you go over and go in the usual way, as you knock on the door, are you knocking? Or are you just charging in?
For the Baron, it's
I'll
always
leave
best to
that
knock.
to them.
Baron.
Yeah, for the Baron, it's always best to knock. You don't want to be barging in on him.
So you knock. And he just kind of goes, "Come in." As you open the doors and head inside, the Baron is sat at his desk, poring over papers. A very familiar figure places more on his desk. And a not so familiar figure is kind of lurking in the shadows behind him.
Hmm.
The very familiar figure is a very familiar, tall, creepy woman that you have encountered a few times. Now, Miss Mallory.
Ah, Zane's
But-
friend.
Yeah.
As we enter, Wolf's just looking at Zane, eyebrow movements.
Zane just stops, turns around, leaves. But yeah, Zane, you see your bug-eyed friend.
I'm traumatized. I'm curled up in the corner crying. No, I'm just kidding. Zane is just standing there, kind of just stood still, like, you know how a T-Rex is like, if I just stand still, it won't see me.
Her
It's
emotions
like
based
that
on movement.
currently. Yeah. He knows full well it's not gonna work, but he's just standing there like, no, thank you.
The Baron seems to be going over, like, paper, like, files that she's brought over. As she just kind of glances up and goes, "Yeah. Seems your wanderer has returned." Just kind of looks up and is like, "Oh, you're back. What did you find?"
Wolf will look to the others to see if they wish to relay the information.
Kaz will look between Wolf and I wanted to say Leora, but Leora's Saturday.
Lillian.
Leora has just
Lillian.
been pulled
It's
into vampire.
I know you can.
What?
I know Friday the issue is all the S's. Here it's all the L's when it comes to Ranna's characters.
Lowen, Lillian, Leora. After the L's just silent.
La Astra.
Lillian will just tilt her head and then just gesture for Wolf to go ahead.
All right. I won't,
I don't know
won't
that-
take this in a moment.
Don't know if this is a good thing that technically Wolf has become the coterie leader.
Oh, it's not. Bonjour, mon amis. We come bearing wonderful news and information of a varying sort. If I have the honor of sharing it with your friends, or would you rather it be in private company, oh dear Baron of mine?
You can say it while they're here. I should probably make
Wonderful!
introductions, actually.
Oh, yes.
You have met Miss Mallory Mortain. She
Of course.
is one of the elders that was living here at the fall of the Camarilla and decided to stay. The other, Mr. Arthur Backliff. And he kind of like steps out a little bit, and you see a very tall, imposing looking man, less human looking than most. You can kind of identify him as a gangrel pretty quickly. He is also an elder in this territory.
Ooh. Woken up from a nap to find a party.
Hmm.
Wolf, looking at the gangrel elder, will then. Shit. Looking at the gangrel elder, will then look back to the Baron.
Wonderful. Well, then we are an esteemed company.
Give us your report.
Yes.
Wolf will dig through his pockets. We will take out little note cards. If anybody was able to read the note cards, they'd be completely blank. To which Wolf will.
Here we are. So, we went to the location that you had sent us, the warehouse, to find a dead individual murdered and slain by a child kindred of the same design and creation as the others that we had met, developed by the madman working for the Camarilla. But we found out some delectable little information from them. One, there's quite a few of them. Two, they also suffer from the beast currently. However, supposedly the whole point of their existence is that through combined power of friendship, yada yada huda buda vada, they find that they can control the beast. Which is counterintuitive to what I originally thought, also to what I was originally told by the individual that we did not see a second time, by the way. No adults this time. By the way, you didn't happen to have any La Sombra or necromancers following us, did you?
No, we do not
One.
have
Wonderful. Well, it seems.
any necromancers currently living in this territory.
Ooh, well, you've got a ghost in your walls somewheres. You may want to look into it. On that subject as well, though, the delectable individuals have mentioned something interesting. Not only are there quite a handful more, there are what were deemed failures, which appear to have been thought dead and dumped upon the streets. As you can see with our friend Victoria, that's not entirely true. The reason she doesn't have a sire is because there is no sire.
You're saying that they artificially created her.
Something of the sort. If anything of what we saw earlier, they're taking a mixture of blood and just straight up shoving it in people. Trying it with adults, finding more success with kids, it seems, but there's apparently a couple adults that did succeed. Any of you ever heard of a Miss Genevieve?
No.
I have. She was in the newspaper, a missing person, which has led me to believe, because Victoria's in that same newspaper, and so are several other individuals, that a lot of the missing person cases here because of the Camarilla, which is a little bit of a surprise. I would have thought it was because of other things, but here we are. Am I
It's kind of,
forgetting anything?
Go on.
yes, kind of puts his hand to his chin and is just like, I need to find where they're operating out of.
Did you know that this town has a series of tunnels with doors that appear to lead from buildings to buildings to buildings?
Yes, it's the system used to transport merchandise and goods across the city.
Goods. Have
You're
you
saying
kept
they're
me?
using the tunnels?
Oh, yes. Oh, very much so. The children are, at least, it seems.
Hmm. I'll have it investigated.
Hmm. By the way, if you hear in the newspaper about a mutilated man, I'm just going to tell you that was me. They left the crime scene so normal, I had to make it abnormal. Make it harder on the cops to figure out if it's serial killer or monster.
Fine. We'll be fine.
Oh, of course we are. I'm an undertaker and a mortician. They need one, I'll just say, oh, look, wild dog attack. On that as well, if they're taking both kindreds in kind, you have to suspect that with the more people that go missing, the more a certain group are going to start taking investments in this as well. I also happen to believe that they're catching the attention of non-partnered kindred and of partnered kindred that I don't think you want in your city, that you may also want to keep an eye out for. Honestly, the whole thing's catching everyone's attention. Experimentation, experimentation, daywalker experimentation, insanity.
You're saying there's possibly a canine problem as well.
I don't want to say it's a canine problem, but I do happen to believe that other kindred are becoming invested in this situation, which means that they're starting to move in. And if the Camarilla is doing this with an elder, a primogen, a scourges, or worse, a prince's okay, well, we're going to start seeing a lot more influx. Plus, the possibility that the failures that they so irresponsibly dumped into the street thinking they were dead were to wake up and we weren't to find out that they were more tameable, but they were to end up like another individual that we have recently killed. Well, we can expect that them leaving ferals behind will create a bit of a dog hunter issue.
Yes. I'll have people start patrolling. See if we can find anything. Make it harder for them to dump the bodies. For now, do you have any leads?
Since I gave them a little pet rat, sent them on their way, the rat will find me, and I'll know where they are, or at least where they're staying. But we also know that the individuals they're taking are coming in from the ports and trains. And if they're using the tunnels, well, we just have to get down there with a good tracking dog. That's kind of funny because I am a good tracking dog. Ain't I reliable?
Chase down any leads you can for the night. And I will contact you tomorrow with any new information.
Wonderful. Anything else? Anything that any of you want to say?
Not from me. The gangrel's just kind of been staring at the group. You think he's probably just sizing everyone up. Before he just kind of huffs and turns away. Mallory is already halfway across the room towards Zane. It's like, hello again! It's been a while!
We should really start charging that lady for this kind of services.
Hi.
You still have not come round for a cup of tea.
Well, it's been quite busy recently with everything going on. Well, finding out all this information takes up a lot of time.
Oh, I can understand that. My own investigation's been taking quite a while lately. Oh, but that was what I was going to say to all of you. If you're interested in information that can be found in books, or maybe not found in books, Zane knows where to find me.
I do.
My door is open to visitors, as much as your old friend may not like that. But you should come for some tea now. I'm so lonely. She's gone out of town for a few days, and I am just bored.
Oh, I would, but I'm yeah, I've got something to do. I'm a bit busy, busy life. Many friends. Yeah. So
He
Oh,
happens to be the most capable of us when it comes to shadowing individuals. Like a good old American gumshoe.
oh, boo. Well, you better come soon, Zane, or I might start to feel a bit neglected.
oh, I will one time. Don't worry.
She kind of stands up again because she's very tall, so she had to crouch down a bit to speak to you. And she kind of like looks back at the Baron. I'll be back for my files tomorrow, Baron. Make sure you're done with them by then. I do not like lending out my personal records. He just says like, fine. And just kind of looks. Arthur. Arthur just kind of looks at him and goes, I know. He turns to leave as well. And as soon as they kind of walk out the door before you guys, the Baron just kind of goes, elders. Anyway, get on with what you're going to do for the night. Like I said, I'll contact you tomorrow.
Of course.
So you leave the Baron's office unless anyone else has anything to ask him or say.
Not that comes to mind.
No, I don't have anything.
Zane's just like, "Mm."
Yeah, he doesn't look the happiest. When does he look happy? Let's be honest, and he look bastard.
As we're leaving, though, Wolf will turn around, clapping.
Zane! How ungentlemanly of you.
What? Not going around? I've been instructed not to go around, and I'm following that.
A man of your stature and a woman must invite you? You should invite her. Isn't that what you English people do? Isn't that the whole etiquette and polite thing that everybody throws around?
Well, yes, but I really don't like looking at those eyes.
Ah, but Zane, get you a woman that rushes up to you, places her hand upon your chest, and rips out your heart. They always make things interesting. Although she might be too old for you. Actually, this might be. I think. I don't know. She's an elder. Well, aren't you a little mountain lion?
Sorry. That made me break character for a second. Wow.
I feel like that's a
Sorry.
It was just a
Sorry.
little mountain
I
lion.
know,
I was like,
it felt so wrong coming out of my mouth, too.
No, it's so good. That was very in character from you and very out of character from me.
Sounds
Zane would just be like,
Just imagine Santa getting the whiteboard and just marks it as now being
Ugh.
1-all for breaking.
Yeah, but Zane would just roll his eyes at that and be like, "Oh, I'm not even bothering."
What, you don't have a type? I mean, everybody's got a type. My type's dead and dying. To eat, that is.
Well, my type for that then is sleeping. Talking about eating.
And you. Ah, mm, 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 mm. Jokes! Jokes that I'm not going to make because we're gentlemanly, right, Zane?
Yes, and we don't want to make Leigh have any editing out to do.
What? Who?
They were breaking the
What?
fourth wall.
Fine. In the States, we get down and dirty like dogs. Like to bash each other. Also, gunfights. God, I miss the States. Not really, actually, now that I think about it.
Hmm.
Don't me. You're judging me.
I judge everyone equally.
Exactly. See, here's the issue. I don't know how many eyes you have actually looking at me because I see two, but I know with your sword there's another one somewheres.
Well, I suppose you won't really find out, will you?
Oh. Well, at least with me, you get what you see, which is a carnivorous son of a bitch that's more likely to stab you in the back than nearly anything else. But here we are. Anyways, what are we doing? Where are we going? Why are we talking, people? What time is it?
He's pulling out his pocket watch.
It's about 2 a.m.
Hmm. We got about 3 hours.
Victoria gonna go, wasn't you wanting to go to the graveyard?
Thank you for reminding me. Oh, how's it feel, by the way, to find out that you're not only a freak against nature, but also a freak against unnature?
I've stopped caring at this point.
Good. Empathy will only get you killed. Never care about anything for yourself, sweetheart. It's a carriage, or are we walking? I can run. This is what I like about this place. A madman can go running in the streets screaming, and everybody will just be like, oh, no, that's normal.
Yeah.
Someone might call the Barbie, but that's dinner.
Hmm.
So are you getting John, or are you just heading there on foot?
I suppose I can walk for the night.
So you all walk for the evening to the graveyard where Lillian and Wolf last saw the La Sombra that you met. You go up to the same like mausoleum where you had dug up the man previously. And leant against the side of it, you see a familiar figure waiting. Just glancing over at you. Bit of a look. You wanted to meet.
Of course. But first, you didn't happen to have a shadow following us, did you?
Wasn't my shade. I know whose it was, but it wasn't mine.
Friend or foe? Or a little bit of both?
More my ally than yours.
Oh, good then. So you know much of what we already know then?
I do.
Wonderful. Then, if I may ask, what are your thoughts?
It's very interesting. Failures coming back to life, not undergoing traditional turning. But a strange blood amalgamation takes place. Kind of like thinking, pour one open the other day. It's very interesting. We learned much through the pain, I think, before the end. Anyway, it seems to be an interesting process, what they're doing. They're trying to create an entirely new breed by mixing from others.
Sounds very Tremere.
It does, but it's not a Tremere running it.
Oh, you
Though
know of the person running it?
I do. He's not in the city. He's running it from a distance.
Hmm.
He's got some lackey working for him within the city and carrying out the experiments for him. But he's way away. I think he's, where was it? On an island off the north of the country.
Ugh.
Last I heard about him anyway.
Well, sadly for now, that's out of my jurisdiction. But
You'd
the
be very
individual.
surprised though.
Hmm.
It's no Tremere blood mage playing with blood. It's one of her ilk. And points to Kaz.
A Malkavian.
Hmm.
Why would a Malkavian be dabbling in such things? Not
You're
really our kind of
mad.
MO. Well, yes, but it's not really our MO, if that makes sense.
You'd be
Malkavian.
surprised. I've known
That's
many
just
Malkavian dabble in experimentation.
I mean, experimentation is just another form of intel gather.
Also another form of
oh.
madness.
Hmm.
Playing with something, not knowing what's going to come out of it. Problem
You've been
is,
lucky.
he's not completely mad. Some of them have worked.
Do I sense a bit of admiration in your voice?
I will even my kind don't quite condone this level of messing with other kindred. Yes, a lot of the clans now are weak under the rule of the Camarilla and the Anarchs. But slaughtering kindred to create something else under some delusion of walking in the sunlight. I do like what has come out of it, though. These new ones that he's created are very interesting. I played with one the other night. I let her live this time, but I got a good look at what she could do. It is very different. Anyway, my thoughts are the method he is using is abhorrent. Disgusting thing. But the result, when he is successful, is rather interesting.
We should be careful. When you play God, the children always rise up and kill you.
Oh, yes, we know that well, don't we?
Hmm. The
But,
individual
oh, go on.
who's running things here for him. You happen to know who it is?
Don't know his name yet. He's a Ventru.
I think I've met him.
You probably have. Bit of a blowhard.
Yes.
It'd be
That's
very
what he
easy.
smells like.
It'd be very easy just to kill him. But he's a bit more valuable alive at the moment. Can pin down his master that way.
Hmm. Kaz. As a Malkavian. Would it not be intelligent to kill all attachments to you, no matter how valuable they are?
That all depends on the situation, surely.
If one can lead to you being found or killed, when does the value become danger?
I mean, surely that isn't Malkavian exclusive.
No, but you're the only one that can get in his mind.
I'd rather not. Yes, all those Malkavians have their own different kinds of madness, but that's the exact reason why I don't want to. We don't know the extent of his madness compared to mine. It could be like oil and water, it could be like two chemicals where when you mix it up, it just goes explosive. Who knows what could happen?
You know a lot of chemistry.
So when you're in my kind of line of work,
you're, you're. You know what? I'm not going to get into this. She plays instruments and sings. On that note, it seems though that we have two very different desires going forward. Seems you wish to collect them, but we've been told to also collect them.
How about
Now we're
this?
obvious. Hmm.
I won't get in your way for most of them, but I want two.
Oh,
That little one, Amelia. I want her. And I want the one called
hmm.
Genevieve.
have we encountered a Genevieve?
Genevieve. What was that, my dear?
Have we encountered a Genevieve?
But we've been told of a Genevieve.
But not encountered them.
Oh no.
Those are the two I want. The rest you can do whatever you want with. And I won't get in your way.
I'm assuming this is also a case of do, don't ask kind of situation, in that we don't ask why you want them, we just do.
Hmm.
You can't assume why she wants them.
For the same reason probably a lot of other people do. But hey, I'm not here to judge,
Well,
I'm here to act.
no, go on.
No, that was it. I'm just here to.
Oh, I'm not going to kill them if that's what you're thinking.
Of course not, or else you'd just have us do it instead.
Oh, my dear. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just agreeing not to get in your way and not make problems for you. If I get what I want.
The bigger question is, does the Baron know about this?
The Baron!
Yes.
That blind fool! He couldn't find me if he was trapped in a paper bag with me.
She'll just kind of side-eye the others at this point.
Even if you tell him, it won't do any good. He's a fool. He couldn't stop me if he wanted to. Poor man was all that was left at the end of the Anarch uprising and got saddled with this place. Doing his best, bless him. But he's not that strong. I didn't come
No.
here looking for the revolution. Right now.
But he does have strong allies.
You're talking about the Keosin and the Gangrel.
Oh, yes. Especially the Gearset. Not that they could find you, but in contemplation. This being
Yes.
said, my answer is I don't honestly give a shit about the two individuals you've asked us to leave alone. If you want them, you can have them. We've not been told to kill them, we've only been told to look for the sire. As for you lot, well, you lot, you have a voice in this as well.
It's as you said, if they're not imperative to a mission, then where's the harm? We've not been told to deal with the kid. We've just been told to find the one behind it.
She's
Zane,
kind of
Lillian.
gone.
Oh no, go on.
While you're talking, she's kind of staring at Lillian.
I don't much care either way.
Yet.
What about you, little Nosferatu?
I'm assuming that's to me.
Yeah.
Not Victoria. I was gonna be like, if you're only having a conversation with yourself. Zane will be agreeing with Lillian, being like, I don't really mind.
Yes, have a conversation with yourself.
Stop.
Don't
Lose your mind.
go insane.
She will approach a little bit.
I
And
do,
it's only then that you see that there was someone else kind of stood behind her.
I do
A
feel
kind of
like
shorter, kind of dark-clothed woman.
I do feel like I've given a slight bit of trauma when it comes to that, when I forced Dion to voice three different characters having a conversation.
Mm. Um, she is wearing almost like a funeral dress. She has kind of long dark hair, kind of tied back in a loose braid, and is wearing a bit of a kind of, one of those hats that kind of sit to the side and have a slight veil
Hmm.
over the face. And she's kind of been stood behind her this entire, like, you can assume the entire time.
Wolf's giving a little bit of a finger wave to her.
Do you like dead people too?
She doesn't, she doesn't really respond. As Vivian, the Sombra, kind of approaches you a bit, Lillian, and is like, "You are wasted here."
You are
What is
wasted. Go home. You're drunk.
Why don't you join with us? You could have access to as many corpses as you wanted. Our resources are, well, less restrictive. You'd require some lessons, but
If
so long
you
as you can take the pain, I think we'll be fine.
you do realize
Lillian,
she already has a. Well, you couldn't respond. Yes.
Lillian just raises an eyebrow slightly. Oh, that's a generous offer. Mm, I suppose I can keep that in mind, but at the moment I'm quite happy where I am.
Plus, you already have
Hmm.
access to quite a few corpses thanks to Wolf.
Hmm. Well, not just that.
I don't think the Anarchs will tolerate your kind forever. So when the day comes, she kind of leans in and kind of whispers and is like, seek out the daughters of Lynn.
Hmm.
And she'll pull back. So, well, now that we've come to an agreement, you don't touch the two that I want, and I don't get in your way.
Of course, but we can both respect that this agreement will be null in life or death situations, of course.
Oh, definitely.
Wonderful. Then that a handshake?
Hmm. She kind of looks back and goes, Morgan. And the other one comes, kind of holds out their hand.
Wolf always smiling, the large, sharp teeth, as he sort of takes her by the hand.
We are in agreement then.
Yes, we are.
Ha! Wonderful!
You see, kind of like, as you're kind of looking at her, she doesn't seem the same. She is kindred, this other girl, Morgan. Not the same type as Vivian. The shadows don't pulse the same way. But she lets go of your hand and kind of steps back again. Now, was there anything else?
None. Not that I can recall.
Well, what about the rest of you? Anything else you want to ask?
No.
Looks at Cat.
That comes to mind. Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
I literally had a moment then where we're just talking halfway through, like, I'm muted, aren't I? Then also like, no, I'm not muted this time. I'm good.
Zane will shake his head to say that he's got nothing to say.
Then we are done here. And she'll start to walk off. Morgan kind of following at a little distance behind her before they both eventually disappear into the darkness.
Kaz will give it a few beats after they've vanished, just in case they're lurking around before turning to the others. So I got a couple of quick things on mind about all this. One, you think there's going to be something to do with that whole thing where she didn't want to be the one to shake your hand, so she had someone else, almost as if some kind of loophole has been found?
Oh, no, no. The one that shook my hand was the one who can't break the promise. They are in ties together, but only one of them has the powers to make such an agreement. What did she say to you, Lillian?
A simple invitation.
Two?
Change to their side.
It would be fitting. But I don't think you'd like their business.
Yes, that's
And
why I
secret.
politely declined.
In terms of loopholes, everyone's got one, Cass. Not every agreement is completely binding, which is why I state it quite firmly. In defense, the agreement is null and the individuals will die. I'm not dumb enough to make that accident. And if they do get in our way, go on.
Well, it was also adding on to that. She was stating that he wouldn't be able to find her, but she has to be smart enough to realize if he was going to try and find her, he'd be probably sending us out to find her. The ones who have found her before already.
You assume that she didn't just let us find her.
That's
You
generally
know
the
what's the
downfall
tricky
of
thing?
us.
You know what's the tricky thing about shadows?
They vanish in the dark. I was about to say they vanish in the light, but no, they're created more in the light.
No, they're everywhere. When the light goes out, they reveal themselves in full. But there's often quite a few. The biggest issue with shadows is that they're prideful. We have no threat of treachery from them. Now, if we were Toreador, that'd be another thing. And the Baron could find her if he wanted to, but the issue is that there are other things that the Baron is dealing with. He's quite a busy man. Someone so young and he's already hit threat of cardiac arrest. Oh, come on, that was funny. 100 years ago, a heart attack joke would have been hilarious.
This is where Wolf goes on a tyrannical rant about the walk.
How
God, these
everything he used to
youngsters,
be.
these youths. Back in my day, we took gunpowder and we'd put it on wounds. Had to stop the bleeding, just light it up, kaboom! Black stains all over the place. In another life, I had a bone saw. I also have a bone saw in this life. They're very useful bone saws. Not so fun to bring on a date, though. Or are they? Anywho, what now?
That's exactly what I was about to ask. What's the next plan?
I would hate to be caught up in the enemy's territory asleep and sauntered. So I think take some time, go eat, feast, take care of personal matters. My place is nearby if none of you want to walk all the way to the hotel.
Mhm.
silence is deafening. Victoria,
Yes.
you've been quiet.
She
What are
gave me
your
the creeps.
thoughts? Of course. What are your thoughts? You have a bit of kinship with these individuals.
How? The ones you're chasing down.
Yes, you may very well share the same blood in their veins. Sure, you were deemed a failure by dear beloved Papa and thrown out to the wolves. But the young ones are still technically your sisters in kindering.
I don't care about them.
What do you care about?
Don't know yet.
That's a problem. Anywho, snack time, I suppose. If any of you need me, I'll be returning to my place. I've got some rats I need to ask a question to. What was that, Zane?
What?
I don't think he said anything.
No, sorry, I just clicked very loudly and I think it picked up.
Ah, wonderful. I say we head down into the tunnels upon the morrow, or whenever we feel like it.
Mm-hmm. You did
You
send that
haven't.
one rat off with them, if I remember correctly.
Yes. I have other rats in other places. Know that you're never alone. There's always a rat in your wall. And where there is rat, the wolf follows. Which is to say that I know what all of you do, I know where all of you live, I know what each and every single one of you like. Call me your friendly stalker. Or I'm kidding and I'm absolutely bullshitting you.
I know where all of you live. In Lillian's place.
Exactly. If you're ever worried there's a monster under your bed or in your closet, don't worry. Probably a red cap. Anyways, any other business we should discuss? Anybody have any concerns, questions, thoughts, opinions? Everybody's got opinions.
I mean, I think we're pretty much good here unless there is something we're missing.
If we're missing it, then we'll never know until we figure out that we're missing it.
Exactly, then we'll find them.
All right. In that, I will bid you adieu, mon amis. If any of you wish to stay the night at my place, you can. Except you, he says, pointing at Lillian. I know your sort. You need your hotel, don't you?
I keep a little dirt in a locket for the dirt man.
Of course, of course. In that case, I have a basement. It's filled with dead bodies. Legal dead bodies. Not everything I do is a crime.
I mean,
Uh,
if we're retiring for the day, then it would make sense just to go back to Lillian's.
And I do like to eat where I sleep.
I'm a dog. I eat anything, especially if it's on the ground or under it. especially under it.
What about above it?
If it's moving around, it's disgusting. Hasn't fermented long enough yet. How you all feed upon the living bags of filth and pestilence roaming around like disgusting pieces of shit. I, on the other hand, preferred mine butchered and, well, cooked. Come on. That's funny. The donor party found that funny. Y'all have no humor. I'm leaving.
And Wolf will start heading home.
Are the rest of you heading back to Lillian's or off to do your own thing for a bit?
I think I've got enough files to be able to head back to Lillian's and not have too much issues.
This is when we discovered John's actually been following us with the carriage.
Zane will go back to Lillian's as well.
Yep. So you all head back. And do you rest for the night?
Oh, for the day.
Well, for the day, yeah.
Do you rest for the night? No, because then we've got to rest for the day afterwards as well. Vampires, am I right?
Santa, you said you wanted to speak to rats.
Yes, we'll speak to rats.
Is there anything specific or just...
Asking them if they found the person that he had told them to look for.
Refresh me on the person that Anik gave you the picture of?
Yes. Yes.
They kind of like shake their head like they're not in the city.
All right. Stay near. I may have more use for you.
And he'll leave a plate of something meaty.
Mm-hmm. I'll just like dig in.
And with that, when Wolf sleeps, he does use earth melt. He does sink into the basement, into the concrete.
Yep. The night passes. And as we're passing the night, is everyone okay if we just take 5 for a minute?
Let's take 5.
Just want to
Yeah,
get a
that's all
drink
good.
and go to the bathroom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
gonna feed my hamster. He's just walking up.
He's just staring at you like,
But
mother.
yeah, literally no. He's like on his little seesaw, being like, "Feed me, mother," and I'm like, no.
This is where you turn to him and be like, it's the wrong Tuesday. You're not
No,
in
but no, he
today's.
can't come out for another week.
You're not in this episode.
I mean, he has the schedule of a vampire. Up at night, sleeps at day.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
nocturnal.
I'm about to say, isn't that just me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
that's true.
confirmed. You're a vampire in real life.
Apart from the consuming the blood part.
No, the
I
J2
mean,
also do that.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about to say, I'm drinking that flavor. Mainly because we don't have any of the flavor in at the moment, but
Anyway, BRB, I'll be back in a few.
this is literally my choice flavor for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Helps get, well, this version of Tuesday and Thursdays helps get into character with Kaz and Clara. Which again, it's weird that I've got 2 characters that drink blood beginning with C.
It's a little theme.
It is. By the way, I should probably pause the recording until back.
Fish.
Be good?
Yeah, we're recording.
Fish.
Gorgonzola.
Okay, I definitely got fish in there at least once, maybe twice.
You did. But another bustling day in the city passes as you all sleep. Some of you sank into the ground, others sleeping at the hotel in your friend's haven. And as you all come around, as dusk falls, you reconvene at the Queen's Hotel? Those of you who are already there, but does Wolf go to meet up with them, or does he has things to attend to first?
Well, we'll meet up with them.
So you're all coming around, going into the common area as Wolf arrives. You're all together on a brand new night in the city.
Lovely.
And we all have to do rouse checks because we're awake.
Yes, you do. Everyone needs to roll a rouse check.
Oh, it's a good thing I ate before I slept.
There you are. And your hunger increases too.
The idea of my hunger increases. I have one of the vials. My hunger has gone back down by one.
Yep. So,
I now have 2 vials.
you're all gathered together after the events of last night, conversations and revelations. All you can do is either go and chase down things on your own or wait to be contacted.
All of you who wish to wait to be contacted, say aye. Good, the nays have it. Let's go.
So
Wait,
you're all
before we go, I just have to ask, Lillian, who does your drapes? Who is your interior decorator?
That would be John.
Good. Bury him someplace deep and never let him see the light of day again. This place is hideous. Anyways, let's go.
and
Lillian
where?
just stares.
And where might you be going, Mr. Wolf?
We're going on a trip in our favorite spaceship, sailing through the skies. Little vampires times. Come on.
Don't worry, I was laughing, but I was muted.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just
love
had to make
you.
it less painful.
He was laughing internally.
Yeah. The more sarcastic internal laugh I've ever done.
We're
Also,
going back
what
to
the hell
the
is a
warehouse.
spaceship?
It's the Victorian London. You know what a spaceship is. The idea of a spaceship was. In fact, this is the era of sci-fi mon ami. Bullet to the moon. That story comes from this era. Jules Verne.
It's
is
also
before us. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Jules Verne is before this time frame. He's what, 19?
let me look it up on my phone.
Jules Verne is 1850?
Wiki
When's his
Jules
first book?
Verne.
Thank God I'm not sure.
Jules Verne was 1828 to 1905.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, Jules Verne is at the height of his popularity then. So yeah, spaceships are known. They're not what we perceive. They're like submarines in space or a bullet being fired in space, but
Yeah, I was about to
yeah.
say, like,
Okay, so just looking at this,
Uh-huh.
none of his books were published until 1863.
uh,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, from what I can see,
His
words.
first
Oh,
book, 5 Weeks in a Balloon, was 1863.
Brooks on a Balloon, which is around the world in 80 days, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I can see here, there's nothing earlier than
Any,
1863. So technically
any,
not yet.
yeah, not yet. So yeah, his books
Anyway,
aren't out yet.
Jules Verne's
That
bibliography.
being that being said, sci-fi does exist, but obviously that wasn't in character. Wolf is headed to the warehouse. He's gonna go through the tunnels.
Yeah, 1863, 5 weeks in a balloon.
Yeah.
Although,
Sadly, it's even a bit too early for Wells.
It is, yeah.
going off the idea of the long routes to space, that would be 1865 in France,
Although
1868
Edgar
in
Allan,
UK.
although
So
Edgar
yeah,
Allan
Edgar.
Poe has his heights in the U.S. though. Don't
Yeah,
know if
Yeah,
it came to England by this time, but I know
no,
for
but
certain
it makes sense for Wolf to
he's
know
dead
it
by
then.
now. Oh yeah.
either way.
You actually think Wolf reads?
Also, quick funny side note when it comes to Jules Verne with like that idea of going to space.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I forgot what the ride's called now. Space Mountain in America, like your
Mhm.
Disneyland one. The Paris version of that was based on the Jules Verne book.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Keyword was. I think it's
Yes.
now been rethemed to Star Wars.
Read the Jules Verne. They're fun.
And Star Wars taking all the space shit.
If you ever wonder who Captain Nemo is, read the Jules
Mm,
Verne. He's in like 5 of them. He's actually in 3, mentioned in 2 others.
yeah.
So we're heading back to the sewers, was it?
I thought it was an access tunnel, not sewers.
Access tunnels, sewers. It's still going underground in some dark, dingy tunnel.
Do you have an
Fair.
issue with underground? Humanity comes from underground in a dark ditch tunnel. Cavemen, Neanderthals, the hippity hoppity Sasquatch, which doesn't exist yet. First Sasquatch sighting was until early 1900s, so you aren't hearing what I'm saying at this point anymore.
I will say sci-fi does like going back to the sci-fi thing. Sorry, Shelley is pretty prominent at this time.
Yeah, this is the era of Penny Dreadfuls. Another one would be because so the Shelley is the original like sci-fi genre. Okay, history aside. Wolf, it's like Wolf is just looking at you guys at the underground comment.
It's not a case if I have an issue with going underground, or more an issue of what you find lurking around there. It's easier to be ambushed.
It's easier to be ambushed out here, though. Out here, we are in the open. in a vast humanized world with all of our greatest enemies surrounding us. Cattle to the wolves, but the cattle outnumber the wolves and have a far greater ability to stomp us to our deaths. In the underground, we are safe. We are protected, and we can see in a tunnel only ahead and behind us until the tunnel inevitably collapses upon us, revealing to ourselves our own actuality and short, insignificant lives.
I feel like you should write a book with that.
I tried that once.
Oh,
You ever read the Iliad?
a little bit.
Good, I wrote that. If you think I'm that old, I'm insulted, I'll slap you on the face. That being said, Homer was a looker. Mostly because he was like 8 different individuals. But here we are. Collectivisms. Shakespeare, eat your heart out. To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler to love. Why are we listening to me talk? Call the carriage?
John's already there. Also
Zane,
listening.
Yeah.
Yes.
have you ever read The Immortal Bard? Eternal Bard? Immortal Bard.
No.
No.
Here's your question: have you ever read?
Not really.
Are you literate?
Yes, I can read. I just don't like to.
Well, that's a shame.
Never been really my thing.
Really, I feel like you would get a kick out of the character of Benvolio. For Midsummer's Night Dream, not the one from Romeo and Juliet. 2 different Benvolios.
Well, maybe one day I'll give it a read.
Victoria goes, if it's all the same, I think I'm going to stay here today.
Very well.
I got no issues with that.
I'm tempted just because I enjoy making the voice of this guy that pretends to use your voice to play multiple characters at the same time that I might force him to come along with us. But I won't. Wow, I sound more Malkavian than the Malkavian does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad when the Malkavian even agrees.
Could be worse. I could force her to voice a rat.
Sure you don't have a bit of Malkavian in you?
Have a little bit of Malkavian in me. I mean, I've eaten a lot of crazy things in my life. Come on, that was funny. I've eaten a lot of crazy things in my life. This is why I prefer the Sumerians. They know how to take a joke. That or it was ritual sacrifice.
at this point it's more humorous just to not reply.
Fair enough.
But in that, you said humorous, which means to some degree you find my jokes funny, and therefore I'm satisfied. Let's leave!
I imagine this was going on as you all were climbing into the carriage and going.
Yep, I'm driving.
John just sighs.
I appreciate you, John.
Let's get this oil down on the road down, shall we?
Oh, he's doing the voice again.
Yeehaw! That's a piss poor yeehaw.
Is this where we find out he's actually a Malkavian, marauding as a gangrel?
In fairness, you've never actually seen me use any abilities that infer the difference,
I'm
so...
about to say, would it surprise you if he was?
Not really.
Surprise both of you that I'm just a madman who was a madman when I was alive.
Of course, then again, we did see him turn into a dog, but that doesn't
It's a
mean much.
young,
You've also
little
seen him grow
traumatized
claws
boy.
and talk to animals.
It's a
Yeah.
young, little traumatized boy in the backwoods of the Alpinian dark forest. Guten Morgen, Mama. Guten Morgen. Ja, mine. What's the German word for child?
I'm going to have to quickly see into the future for that one. German word for. Why did it try to recommend me German Wordle while I was typing this in?
Mm. Well, the plural is kinder.
Like,
Kind. Kind.
oh, that means human.
No, that means child.
And it means human for us.
Vampires just calling freaking
Oh god damn it.
humans
Was this just for
children
the
and
long setup game?
What?
Was the layers have
No.
gone too deep? I don't know if this was sort of setting up for the thing of sort of saying kind. It's like, but that's human.
I mean, yes, but that is actually what in the books humans are called. They're called kind.
yeah, they are. Which is
But
really funny because in German that just means that vampires have just been calling humans children for centuries.
That's why we're having a moment to be like, I don't know if Santa purposely set that up to pull out the pun finally, or if it's just a good coincidence.
You'll never know because it could be either or, a little bit of both. Anyways,
Are we there yet? I would like us to be there now.
I'm guessing John's the one who actually ends up driving again.
oh yeah,
Just
Wolf
pulls
just
out the
wanted to
freaking
sit in the
fake reins.
Wolf just wanted to sit in the front and wear his hat. Wolf doesn't actually take the reins from John. If John was to do that
Oh
trick on
god.
Wolf would full-heartedly murder John.
Why do I imagine
Ah,
the fake reins to be akin to like those,
Like,
like the fake reins are akin to those dog leashes you can get where it's like the invisible dog. So it
you're
looks like
playing a
something's there pulling
dangerous
them out.
game with Wolf if you're trying to give him fake reins.
No, he doesn't. He just kind of drives the carriage.
mm,
He's a product. He knows what he is.
He's Lillian's product.
yes.
Like Wolf actually gives a shit about whose shit he breaks. He'll just give her more limbs.
It just makes John stronger later.
Next time John comes to be, he's just hench.
He's still lanky as fuck, but he's buffed out.
Just gave him some dock worker limbs.
Kind of looks like a stretched out gorilla now.
But yeah, takes a little while, but you do get back to the warehouse district and find the same warehouse once again. You're going straight down into the tunnels.
Mm, yes.
Go back down into the cargo tunnels. Spacious, like they were before, dark. And as you're kind of looking back and forth, nothing much here seemed to change. So which way do you go? You can head further into the under the warehouse district to where the tunnels connect all the different warehouses. Or you can follow the tunnel back down the same way you went before. Hmm?
That one.
Following the same path you did last time.
Mhm.
Makes
Are the
sense.
rest of you agreed with that?
Until we know fully where we're supposed to be going, it makes sense to check down the tunnels we know. Oh my god, I can hear that off the microphone.
What?
Hear what?
A lot of gulping.
Oh, you could hear me drinking.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Somebody's
so weird.
feeding very loudly.
Somebody call 911.
But yeah. You start to retrace your steps from the last night. Are you activating any abilities or
Now, I'm very good at tracking, but
I guess it's more a case of we want to be the ones tracking and not being tracked.
Mhm.
As such, Kaz will activate
Oh.
her. I forget the name, so I'm having to load up my character sheet to remember the name.
Premonition.
No, the one where basically I can move without sound. I
Oh,
can't remember if it's
Silence of Death.
yes, silence of death.
Lillian will probably do much the same, as well as Eyes of the Beast.
okay? Um,
Kaz will also
let me
be keeping
see.
an ear out to see if she hears like any other instruments happening.
One second.
One.
Haha.
Fish.
Turpentine.
Sorry, I'm just fixing. I realized I did not fix Zane's sheet again.
It keeps happening.
I have a lot, like, I forget.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of forgetfulness.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why Amazon has gotten onto an odd fixation on its adverts for me on Facebook at the moment. It seems to just be recommending me to want to buy bloody automatons or the Monster Hunter board game.
Clearly, you've done something to cause them to think that you need these things.
I just turn up to one of the Wednesday sessions and just halfway through slowly pull out an automaton.
That's a
Your
basis of your character. It just speaks with it.
Your character was
They're
supposed to sound
weird
like an
things.
automaton.
Okay, Dion.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that was a sneeze.
yeah.
That scared me.
Because we didn't
I'm
hear the
sorry.
first part of it, we just
I
heard the
was
last
very
part, so we didn't
worried.
hear like an at you, we just heard a
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, are you dying?
Oh, we just ran over a pedestrian. It's fine.
Okay, hold on. Let me call the Royal British Police.
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of horrifying to think about in this context. Given it's a horse and carriage kind of situation, being run over by that
Oh.
has to be much worse than being run over by a car.
Several
Some
sets of
people
hard
just stand
hooves
up
and
after they get hit
wheel.
by a car.
But it's also the idea of the horses decided to never change trajectory.
Yeah. I feel like horses, they could just like kick you as well if they wanted, and horses are lethal when they kick.
Oh, I imagine Lillian's horses are mean as fuck to everyone
They just
except for
kick
John and
anything that
Lillian.
gets in the way.
Here's my
Yeah, they're
question.
just they just got like meanness to them.
Here's my question because I
One
don't
might
think
even
we
call
ever
them.
asked about it when it comes to your horses, Lillian. Are the horses also flesh made, like how you did
They
with
are
John? Or
they are
did you...
also slightly tailored, yes.
Yeah, they're not like normal.
That's even more horrifying.
It's the middle of the night and a drunkard just gets a little too close. They
Like,
leave without a hand.
imagine being out on the street, you hear a horse and carriage coming, you know you can't get out the way, and you turn and just see these monstrous horses instead.
This is where we get all those myths from monster carriages and shit.
The horses just run over, and there's several pieces that just
No,
absorb into
no,
the
there's
horses.
just one day where John kind of lost his head a little bit, and that's how the Doulahan myth came about.
John just walking around without his head for a while.
Is that the Dulan? Yeah, that's the Dulan. What's the other one I'm thinking of? It's the torso guy without the legs, like fused onto the back of the horse.
The knuckle leaf.
Yeah,
Nah,
Knuckleaf,
yeah.
that's it.
Nukaleave.
God of the starving winter.
Eh,
Sorry, one sec. Because I forgot to fix Zane's sheet, so I'm just doing that a bit quickly, then we don't get into a skerfuffle over it.
There's also that other horse variant that's similar to the Kelpie. I forget the name of it, but I discovered it from Magus's Bride.
There's a lot, like, there's a lot of references to horses drowning people.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the horse thingy was called in the friggin' of Ireland game. Actually, no, no, I think about it, that might have been the Kelpie that I'm thinking of.
Oh, I put those in the wrong boxes. I'm nearly done, sorry guys.
It's like,
I just want to
Rush.
get it fixed now, and then
before
I
you
don't
forget
forget again.
oh, there are there are those little videos that were recommended to me on Facebook as well, where it's an automatic paintbrush washer kind of thing, where you just like
Ooh.
get your paintbrush, wash it in the little pool thing that it creates, and then press a button and it flushes it away into like the little pot behind it.
My mum just did like a drive-by of speaking just then. She just walked into the kitchen and then walked back out, and she was talking about me, so I don't know what's going on, but she weren't talking to me directly. I think it was something to do with my car.
Somebody's in trouble.
Oh, found out I've been speeding. No, I don't speed. I swear.
I don't speed. I just go faster than I should.
I can't really speed because of my black box, but there is a bit of way because sometimes the situation where you have to speed to be safe, like if I'm overtaking a cyclist, I need to go quicker than the speed limit in some situations.
Hold on, your black box?
Black box. Yeah, it monitors your speed, so it makes your insurance go down in price because insurance is so ridiculously expensive. So it's to monitor if you're like driving well, essentially. Like if you accelerate too harsh or brake too harsh. But once again, sometimes you have to brake harsh. Stuff happens on the road, so I don't really understand that. But yeah, some people have curfews. I know some people can't go out driving past like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, that's sad. What about a late night Mackey's?
That's what Just Eat's for.
Just
Do
Eat
you
doesn't
not-
deliver to our place, so I had to drive to McDonald's yesterday.
What is your thing? You should have a third discipline.
Should I?
I think usually.
Not unless you put an extra point in one of her two. Does she
I
have two
guess,
points
but
or
no.
something?
Sometimes you get an extra discipline from your
You get two disciplines
hunter
from your
type.
clan one. Yeah, and so, but if it's a point, and if it's a discipline that you already have, you can put another point, so counter points as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check. Let's see, Sandman. Gain gain 1 dot of all specs or obfuscate.
But-
She's got 2 dots in obfuscate, 1 dot in animalism.
Mm-hmm.
So does that add up?
So no, that doesn't.
Okay. So it is you gain specialty in either medicine, anesthesiacs, or stealth break-in. Let's see.
She's Nosferatu. She should get a discipline from that as well.
She's got that.
Which is what you
She's got the
which is what
stealth
you-
break-in one. I'm just checking the Sandman one, and then I'll check the Nosferatu.
Mhm.
So I guess it's up to you. Do you want to gain all specs, or do you want to add an extra dot into obfuscate, Rebecca?
What would the next dot give me in obfuscate?
Um, it will give you
Untold power.
mask of
Yes.
1,000 faces.
Which allows you to look human.
If my state in my character.
It doesn't say which one. Well, some have prerequisites. And I think you can only take. Do you just take all of them if they don't have prerequisites?
Yes.
Yeah. So, mind mask, hide and replace emotions and thoughts against those who wish to read them, be it mundane or supernatural means. Mental maze, remove all sense of direction and location from a victim in a location. If you have Mask of 1,000 Faces, make themselves appear mundane rather than disappearing, allowing interaction through communication. But there's also Mask of Isolation, force a Mask of 1,000 Faces onto a victim. But that requires... Sorry, the last ones require you to have Dominate. So you would only get Ghost in the Machine, which allows the effects of Obfuscate to transmit through technology when viewed on a live screen. And Mask of 1,000 Faces make themselves appear as mundane. So you get when you use Mask of 1,000 Faces, you do not look like a horrific looking creature anymore.
Yeah.
For a time.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah.
So you'll need to describe to us what Zane looked like before he was a Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Whenever you use it, because that's what you'll look like.
Yeah.
I'll put the Ghost in the Machine one on there because I guess it can be used for like photographs and stuff.
It might come into use. That one wasn't. It was the last one.
Yeah, because some of them are amalgam skills, so you need the other skill.
Yeah.
To get them.
Yeah.
And you don't have presence or dominate, so the other two. But you did have animalism, so you got ghost passing at level 2, which means you can obfuscate animal tracks. So if you make a blood thalamus, which you can, you can basically obscure the thalamus's tracks.
Okay.
Let me just add in this bit. Sorry about this, guys. I just wanted to get it done now. Then it's not
It's all okay.
continuing to be a problem. Because as soon as we finish the game, my brain just wipes and I just forget.
No, I completely understand. I'm like that. Well, I'm the opposite of that. I can't think about anything but the game. So I completely understand.
I'll think about the game itself, but then I'll just kind of forget about all the like system-y stuff I need to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no dice pool for it, so that's fine. No ghost in the
Those-
machine.
Those of you that play Palia, I am now the proud owner of the Greater Hunting House.
Nice.
Second story.
Really, like, I'm saving up to get a second story.
Mm-hmm.
Just, Rebecca, feel free to go through and correct any spelling mistakes I've done.
Oh,
Because, like,
that's
I
okay.
am dyslexic as hell, and I can't spell.
No, it's all good. If I notice anything, I sheet now. I'll change it.
Yeah. Let's see. Duration. Power is used. It's free. So that's that done. Oh yeah, there. I'm just gonna check the Nosferatu thing and make sure we're not missing anything else, and then we'll get back in to it. Let's see. Bane is repulsiveness. So, right, you need to have the repulsive flaw on your sheet. Repulsive 2.
Repulsiveness. Love that.
If I recall, yeah, if I recall right, the wolf has a higher rating in that.
I'm not sure. Does Wolf have a higher than 2 repulsive feature?
I just remember something from last session when he tried when he ran about something like that.
Mm-hmm. I love the entire thing with you is that your compulsion is just, oh, hey there. I really want to know what you're doing. I want to know that information that you've got at any cost. See. I can't see anything else from Nosferatu that we are missing, so I think other than your touchstones and convictions aren't filled in. And then the Chronicle tenants. Well, we can go through the touchstones and convictions at some point.
Yeah.
How old does Zane look?
Probably like I would say around his what was his true age again? 45. He'll probably
Yeah.
look around something like that, honestly. I wouldn't say he would look much older.
Right. So, because I'm just trying to think of like when he would have died.
Yeah.
Because if his true age is 45, then that kind of thinks like, how long has he actually been a vampire? Because you're still really young.
With the generate, like, how roughly what about
Let's
like everyone else?
say you were about 25 when you returned. So you've been a vampire for like 20 years.
Yeah, that seems right. Because he knows stuff, but he's still learning at the same time, which would make it.
And then it's 20 years before 36. So we'll say you're died in 1836. And then another 25 years before that, you were born in 1831. There. Yeah, so like I think that's it for now. We'll have to go over your touchstones and convictions at some
Yeah.
other point. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to get that sorted while it was in front of me. But now you accurately know what abilities you have, so that's better for me.
Yeah.
So yes, we're down in the tunnels. Is anyone using any abilities while they're down here? Anything to help you sense or see better? Anything if you want to be sneaky?
If I recall right, me and Lillian said we were using Silence of Death to be sneaky.
Okay.
Kaz, meanwhile, is also just going to be keeping an ear out to see if she hears any new instruments.
Okay. Wolf?
Hmm. Mhm. Okay. Cool. We're gonna first and foremost, is Zane obfuscating or is Zane using his mask now that he's got it?
Oh, I might use my mask. Actually, I'm quite excited about this.
Yeah.
I was going to do the absolute meme and describe Zane as the actual picture that I've got as him. But I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna.
Just looks like fucking Wallace.
Yeah. Even better,
He
it looks
doesn't
like
look like
Lenny
one.
Henry Wallace.
Ow.
It's time to
Wolf
sneak
is
around,
just
Gromit.
Wolf is just looking
Need to
at
find the keys
non-Nosferatu.
from it.
So if you're using your mask, you need to make me a rouse check.
Oh, I'm a bit.
You get a bit hungrier. It doesn't stop it from happening, but you're a bit hungrier.
Yeah.
So you all see Zane. How exactly does Zane essentially put the mask on?
Is it just like a normal mask?
It's not a physical mask. You kind of, it's just a thing that you do.
Yeah,
So
it's like an illusion.
So basically, it's more of a, do you put your hand to your face and then like run it over and then it's there, or do you yeah?
You sneeze the
Yeah.
ugly off.
Yeah, you just sneeze and the mask is in
I'm
place.
sneezing the ugly off. I'm gonna do a little cough, then a sneeze, and there's the ugliness done.
So are just walking and you just see Zane cough at first and then sneeze, and his face is no longer ugly.
How are you uglier than your Nosferatu form?
I mean, do you think I was gonna get any better? I was a pretty bad looking Nosferatu for our kind.
Oh my god. You are depressing. Have some confidence. Be proud of how disgusting you look.
Despite the fact he has a perfectly normal face now.
Zane's not
You know,
even gonna
Wolf's just
argue
saying
it.
despite saying.
I know. Zane's face looks like the epitome of mundane.
And that to Wolf is disgusting.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably to that is gonna be quite like yeah.
Hmm.
Zane can't win.
I
Hey,
suppose if they
Zane,
want, could give them a facelift.
I don't know
what's your
why.
favorite dog, Zane?
My favorite dog?
Yes.
Like kind of dog?
Yes.
Any big dogs?
I know no
Say
one's asking.
retriever.
I know no one's asking, but mine would be up dog.
Say retriever.
Say up dog.
No. I'm not giving you out of character the satisfaction of doing that, even though I really badly want to in character.
Well, as long as it doesn't have ligma.
I think I can feel Dion scowl at me from here. Merely because I have pulled this off several times in the Wednesday game.
Yeah, only
Zane,
because
say,
Jamie doesn't know memes.
Zane, say retriever.
The man barely spends any time on the internet, okay?
I'll say it. I'll say it. Retriever.
Retriever, I hardly knew her.
And he's using shape change to turn into a giant fucking black butt looking dog. When they're in the tunnels.
Oh,
Now given the satisfaction of a laugh.
Woof, 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 bow, wow, 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 wow.
Assorted dog noises.
Yeah, I don't know what would have broken me more, just the mundane barking, or if he decided to meow instead.
Crows like rooster.
Ribbit.
No,
Bjork.
just slowly looks over to us all and goes, fish sound.
just screams like a bobcat.
I feel like that would be a bit
bobcat
fair.
You know, a bobcat scream is a nightmare.
You just sound like a freaking fox.
On that, Wolf is tracking, seeing if he can find any scents, primarily that of the undead variety.
Oh. Because you're a dog form, make me a awareness plus animalism.
Ooh. Okay. Actually, my dog form is due to protein, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yep,
Then
shape changing is due to
protein.
protein.
Then it'd be protein.
Okay.
I thought you were using.
So animalism is no, I can see why. Just a quick, animalism is more so talking to animals, whereas protein is more so this is what my body looks now, but this is what my body looks later. Like it's the vampire vampiric before and after pictures that you find all over Facebook. But so yeah, give me el segundo. You said what plus
Awareness,
awareness? Okay.
because you're trying to be aware of your surroundings, sniffing away.
Mhm. Plus protein. So yep. There we go. That's three
3
success.
successes. So, while Ian and Kaz are trying to be quiet, Zane finally looks like he used to. Um, you're all trudging along, following Wolf. And as you're moving forward along the path that you've trudged previously, just before you reach the kind of narrower path that what leads you down into the break room, you do catch a scent, Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from the path to the right that takes you deeper under the city.
Wolf will start heading that way.
Do you all follow Wolf?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bow wow, woof woof.
Oh, wow, wow, yippee, yippee.
So you keep tracking it down, and then that scent of undeath slowly mixes with blood. As you trudge along, getting closer, it gets more potent as you start to hear a faint instrument. Very, not discordant, but almost very old sounding instrument that hasn't had maintenance in a while. Some sort of old string instrument. You can't quite place which one it is.
And if I recall right, I've not heard this before, so she just kind of raise a finger to the others. She's like, "There's something up ahead, something new. Well, something new to us, but definitely something old." And she'll
As you
motion in the
come
direction where it is.
same way that Wolf was leading.
Mm.
And as you get closer and closer, Wolf, your paw touches a pool of blood. And as you all stare into the darkness, you see 10 bodies ripped to pieces. Human bodies. And a lot of damage to the walls, to the floors. And further down, you see a tall figure holding up something by the neck and just dropping it before it looks in your direction. It starts to trudge towards you. The stink of undeath and fresh blood on it. As also dragging the body behind him.
What the hell is that?
As she steps closer. You do see A rather familiar visage. That the gangrel you met last night. The elder.
Oh, well,
You didn't get a good hear of his sound. Mallory's sound was kind of a lot.
that's the
Very
guy.
loud, very discordant.
That's the guy from last night. The
Also, argument that elders are more can more easily hide their beast since they're more attuned to it.
Mm-hmm.
that's the gangrel.
You should address your elders with more respect, Malkavian.
Wolf is transforming back into his kindred form. As he does, bones clacking very creepily as this comes up. Isn't the whole point of us being anarchs that we don't address our elders?
You may be anarchs, and not under the direct control. But still, your survival instinct should be enough to tell you to respect someone with so many years on you.
I don't think what you said was disrespect. We're just surprised to see you down here.
I'm hunting.
I see.
Not the humans. And he throws an arm on the floor. And you've seen this before, Wolf. This doesn't look like... It's definitely an arm from a kindred. Not a normal one. It's like a white. For what little information you can gather from this arm. There's a white in the tunnels.
I looked at Kaz. You started this conversation. I just came in to state something. You get to finish it.
She'll just chuckle and place a hand on Wolf's shoulder and then just walk behind and be like, but you've clearly taken over the conversation, so good luck. It's on you now.
If you want me to talk, I'll talk. But right in the tunnel, how wonderful. Are you hunting it upon your own accord or the Baron's?
He asked me to look into the tunnels. The white is mine.
Little bit of a happy coinky dink.
Came through here not long ago, slaughtered the kine. Got its arm before it took off again.
Looks like one of their chump dumps found its way to no longer being a chump dump. We're going to something more dangerous.
Do not continue down this path. You wouldn't survive it.
I'll take your word for it.
Children like you, not ready to fight what it is.
I've seen rights before. But you are right. This is not something I wish to fight. They remind us of that part of us that we don't want to see.
Hmm.
The fact that we're fighting a losing battle. But who am I to say anything of that? Good luck on your hunts. We'll continue ours down the many different tunnels.
Good. Do not get in between me and my prey, child.
I wouldn't dream of it, Papa. Farewell!
He just kind of turns and starts heading back down the way he was before. Long gone out of earshot, what do you do?
So serious. Am I that serious?
Not all the time.
Good.
With that encounter with one Arthur Brackenleaf. Oh, Arthur Brackleaf.
Arthur Broccoli. That's what it is in
Brack.
my notes at the moment.
Brackleaf.
Brackleaf. Okay. I don't know why I heard Arthur Broccoli earlier, but that's what's in my notes.
I mean, that kind of checks out for your character, doesn't it?
Reason we're anarchists so that we don't have to adhere to elder philosophy.
Yeah, but not all elders.
Oh, not
Like,
all. No, the anarchs are hypocrites. The anarchs are complete and utter hypocrites. They fix nothing. Wolf isn't technically even an anarch. He's just here because the Baron was like, "You're moving through my territory. Do work for me." And Wolf's like, "Okay," and is now an anarch at the moment.
a lot of elders just don't care either. It's like, you're younger, you listen to me.
A lot of elders are dead now.
A lot of elders are dead. He's particularly old, so he's probably not far off Gehenna.
Oh yeah, Gehenna has started calling, baby.
Anyway. I'm guessing do you turn or do you push your luck?
Oh, we're turning.
Don't want to fight a white.
Not that Wolf doesn't want to fight a right. It's Wolf isn't going to intervene in someone else's hunt. He understands just as well as any other gangrel the importance of a hunt. And the right is not why we're here. It is not what we're after. It may be connected, but the other dog is better leashed by the Baron than Wolf is. And so Wolf, being much more of a feral rabid dog, will do as feral rabid dogs do, and will hit up the unthought spots, like the dumpster and the back alley.
So, are you heading back to the narrow tunnel where you saw the children?
Mm-hmm.
As you head back and arrive once again at that break room, you don't see any signs of anyone here this night. Apart from the time that have been here during the day. There is the other tunnel that continued on ahead that you didn't venture down, as that's where the children fled through.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're back at the beginning of where things ended last night, I think we're going to end it here this week.
I
Did everyone enjoy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yee.
Sorry for that stop in the middle just to sort out some sheet stuff. I just wanted to get it done.
It's like,
No worries.
If I didn't do it then, my brain would have forgot about it by the time we were done. I wouldn't have done it for another week. So
yeah, I was about to say, if you didn't do it then, it would have been a couple of weeks on. You would have been half through the session and looked and be like, I still didn't fix the sheet.
yeah, pretty much. But with the end
Sorry.
of another session, everyone's getting 1 XP.
My brain just had the mental thought then if we get XP in this game.
I have 6 points of XP. I haven't used.
I mean, you spend XP in this game, and there is a XP trait cost.
Is there like a
Is it
table you
first
could post
certificate?
that
Oh,
we
yeah,
could
yeah,
look
yeah.
at?
There we go. So we're all up to 6 XP if I recall right. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
There should be a table that can be
Yeah,
posted.
Dion just opened it then.
My greater hunting house is being constructed. It'll be an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, that
So for
was
some
what
of
I was
them,
saving for.
it's the new level times 3 or times 5. So they're not as easy to get, but new advantages are 3 per dot. You can get new specialties.
How much
If
was it
you-
to
if
get
you
the
really-
safe house thing? I forgot.
That's an advantage to get a haven. So it's 3 per dot. So you could essentially put 2 dots into it if you've got 6 XP.
If you really want to level up your discipline super fast, eat another vampire.
Yeah.
Will you lose your humanity? Yes. Will you be hated and hunted by everyone? Yes. Have you committed the ultimate taboo of your species? Yes.
You'll
Will you
get
be
really
slightly
fucking strong though.
powerful? Yeah. That's if you can withstand the severe insanity that'll come your way.
Because you're literally consuming another person's soul.
Mm-hmm. All their memories, everything they are, becomes part of you.
I love that suffering with the effects of diablerie is one of the main things that happens to you in Night Road.
So,
Mm-hmm.
thank you all so much for tuning in. If you like this episode of Passed Over on Chuckbook Keeper's channel, Star Plunder and Pyramids, Sirens for the Fog over on Spotify, Double Darlings over here. And a bye-bye.
Bye.
Blah, blah, blah.